Well, it's Saturday. Trying to do a video. Actually, it's not. It is Friday. Now, I threw my back out, so I've done very little this week. So I thought what we'd do is look at Herenkoa. I haven't got a lot of models for this made. I haven't got any rules for this done, but we have got quite a lot of a background. So I'm going to kind of walk you through the history of the game, or the idea behind the game. Then I might read some of the stories. They are on the website. Are they on the website? They were on the website. I'll find some photos and some artwork. I'll throw the video together at some point. I'm just going to do the vocal bit first. This could be entertaining. It could be a train wreck. Are you ready? I thought we'd read from the Bible. Well, not the actual Bible, the Herenkoa Bible that I wrote. So, the idea is this is a game based before time began. So, where man, monsters, myths, legends came from. You know the idea of how we got cyclopses, how we get centaurs, that kind of thing. That was the design behind it. In my head, I had all these monsters that I wanted to give realities to, but I wanted to keep it within science and not magic. And there is the problem. You see, because theoretically they're magic. So I sat down and I created a god, which we don't call God because that would upset people. This then created some guardians, gave them some powers, and in turn, this gave us a world. And that world, well, it's meant to be Earth, but before the breaking of the continents. And from this point, we start rolling out ideas. So you start off with Pangea, because that's what it was, and this game was never meant to be a continuation. It was meant to be, here is the start, here is the end. Here's everything in between. These are the historical battles, these are how things happened, this is what happened at the end, this is where the dinosaurs started. Though we never quite got to that, because I never finished writing it. I also never wrote rules for it. So I'm not going to read you the background for it. I will post it on the website again so you can download it. It's just a brief. And we ended up with 7 deities. So this god creates these 7 guardians. Sorry, the deity creates these 7 guardians. And you get things like amulets. During the War of the Heavens, because every good sci-fi game or every good fantasy game has a war between the gods, which results in humans getting injured and gives you the conflict to start it. So this is where it started, and he is known as the troll god. He got knocked out of space during a fight, crashed into the earth, destroyed half a mountain, and turned to stone. And his powers leaking out created trolls, ogres, the big creatures. Then there's Bane, a god of nature. This one, in her dying moments, I've never written how she dies actually, and she is a she. I don't know why she was a she. She just always was a she. In her dying, Mother Earth probably is that whole Mother Nature, mother figure, which gives you the she. When she dies, her power is spread across the world, and this creates more creatures. She is the mother of werewolves. She is the mother of monsters. There's also werecats, wererats. But then again, if you've seen Final Earth, you'll get where that one's coming from. I was just using my own models from other game systems to try and make the game. But those powers also give us centaurs and minotaurs and other things. But that's different stories woven within the game to create it. Then there is the Fallen One, known as Tanararia. He just looks after humans. He has all these powers, but never uses them. He just appears, gives hints, disappears off, doesn't fight, doesn't get in trouble, just kind of goes, oh, this is how you make fire. Oh, this is how you make metal. Oh, this is how you tan leather. Teaches the humans, but never interferes. Scroll, 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 scroll. The jealous one, and the creator of dwarves wants all of the shiny things. So sending different meteors, rocks to crash gold, jewels, gems, all those precious metals. Skrull wants all the precious metals, and also has a bit of inferiority complex. Creates the dwarves. Skrull is an oddity because sometimes it's male, sometimes it's female. It varies. But yeah, they creates the dwarves and the Grelkin, which are dwarves and goblins. And it might have created the Yeti as well. But that's a whole different story. Narastu. He is another one, a bit like the Sanararia. But he saw his race of humans that he wanted hiding in caves. So he tried to manipulate them to be able to work in darkness. Unfortunately, this resulted... I never got the science of this right, but I kind of wanted an explanation for a vampire. And the idea being that they hide in the dark, and when they get into the sun, they overheat, they explode, they catch fire. Because he changed their blood in such a way to photosynthesize moonlight. So they can feed off blood, but they can also live without food at all. And I just never really got the science written up on that fully. I'm fairly sure there's another one. There's meant to be an elf one. Where is the elf one? Oh, Keldra. Keldra. There we go. So I have a complete hatred of elves. Always have had. Don't know why. Can't explain it. Just don't like them as a species. But obviously every fantasy game needs something like an elf. So we created Keldra. That was what happened. Bane and Keldra were fighting. And they're fighting in the atmosphere. And when they finally beat each other, Keldra and Bane come crashing down. Bane crashes into a mountain, which upsets Skrull because it's where Skrull is hiding and stealing all of the resources. And Keldra lands in the forest. Keldra is smashed to pieces, but the tribe in the forest... The tribe in the forest... There we go. Got the word right. This is why I should script stuff. Heal her and protect them. Bring her back to life. Kind of. I haven't finished that story. I'm still working on it. Keldra passes on powers to them, making them taller and faster and so on, and they have an understanding of wood, and they have magic to create new trees and expand forests, and it was... Yeah, I should really probably sit down and finish that one. But that was the idea. And these were the deities, and these make up each of the factions. There are other human factions as well. I wrote a story called Orcus. They have no gods, but it is Bane related. At the madness of the way they were treating the animals, that she curses half of their tribe. Also, it's taken from the entrance to the city of the dead, from, I believe, Greek mythology. I could be wrong. It's been a long time since I wrote it. It is on the blog somewhere, I believe. You get Orcans, and when you finally meet them, they are human, but they shape their armour and masks to make them look like monsters, which in turn gives you orcs. That was a joke with that. I never really finished that one. It was one of the bits I was playing around with. What else we got on here? Humans. All humans are average height, 6 foot, which is not true. At this point, humans would be around 5 feet. That would be 32 mil in scale. Your Zwerk, which is your dwarves, would have been 4 foot. They were 21 mil was the idea for them. Huldras. I don't know what Huldras are. They were human. Oh, they are the elves. Oh, that's what I called them. See? Didn't call them elves. Called them Huldras. They had ear and eye variants and lighter tones of skin. What I should have done is called them Vulcans. Now, I did call vampires vampires. and they varied in height from 4 foot to 7 foot, different size bases, because obviously they're living in caves, they're mining, they're doing these things and hiding in the darkness. Some would get big because they go out to feed, some would say small, and it would give a whole variation of what they were. I think it was the same with the Zerks, which would also be dwarves, which I said were dwarves. The idea there, obviously, I like the idea of having gnomes. So you'd have dwarves and gnomes. Think orcs and Gretchen, with size differences. And I had this idea of building like a Hydra and having it piloted by gnomes. Just sat on the head trying to control them. I have artwork for that somewhere. And then Yetis. Dwarves riding Yetis. Annoyingly, Blue Giant Studios did the bears with gnomes. And so armoured bears, they are really nice models. I did mine. I painted mine up as a Care Bear. I will try and find photos for that. So that kind of crashed that idea out. I may go back to it. The wares were various different things. And reading my notes, it looks like I took the Trick-Eye, which is the rat version of Final Earth's characters, and just anagrammed their name again. Oh, I clearly want to make a game with rats in, don't I? But they were werewolves, werecats, and rats. So, but we called the wolves Shavegs. Shavegs? That's something I probably should question. There was an economy system as well. The idea they were going to have different strengths of weapons, different weapons with different points. So if you had a metal sword, it would cost you more than a wooden sword. Don't ask. I don't know why I thought wooden swords would be a good idea. Obviously, it would be a flint sword, it would be a stone sword, metal swords, and variations of metals. It was going to be 28mm game. So, yeah, like Fantasy Battle. Or what's the other one by Mantic? Kings of War? What's that, Kings of War? So that kind of idea, armies on bases, push the base, and fight. I just hate writing close combat rules. I don't know why. I just can't seem to get anything I've ever liked. Second Thunder is a fairly good set of rules. I will put a link in the description later for that one. If you want to check that out, they're still going. So that was quite a good close combat rules, but they're skirmish games. It's a skirmish game. I also like Stargrave's close combat rules. But yet again, it's a close combat rule for a game that's designed for shooting. So yeah. And me, I just can't do close combat rules. I have a set for District. We will talk about District another week. Maybe next week. And we'll do a proper Final Earth one as well, because there's quite a lot to that. The bit I did last week was just a short one, because I was just trying to get a video out while trying to recover from food poisoning. Anyway, Herenkoa. It's a fantasy game with fantasy creatures. You will, obviously, I'll put the photos up of some of the artwork I did. I did an entire set of Cyclopses. They are trolls, effectively. But because of Bane, they look like elephants. I know. Yet again, it's one of those things. When designing it, like everything else, I went back through Greek and Roman mythology to find the monsters and try to come up with ideas of how to do what they worded them as. And the theory for the Cyclops is somebody found a baby elephant skull. Seriously, look at a baby elephant skull and then go look at Roy Harryhausen's Cyclops. And you can see the horns, you can see the tusks, not horns, tusks. And you can see how that one central hole for the nose becomes the eye for the Cyclops. And I love this idea. And all the monsters from that point onwards, I started going through history going, where did people come up with these ideas? Now, there is also a Hercules film that's got the Rock in it. I can't remember what it's called. I've got Ian McShane in it as well. It's not a terrible movie, but there's a really good scene in that where the opposition, as they ride up to them, are on horses. But because of the way the sun is in the sky, their silhouettes, you can't see the horses' heads. So it looks like they're going against a group of centaurs. And I did read somewhere that they believed the whole centaur idea was the first time the Greeks saw people riding horses. And I just thought that was an awesome idea. I have drawn, written, and tried to make centaurs, and to be honest, I can draw them. Sculpting them is an absolute nightmare. Heresy Miniatures, Andy Foster at Heresy, he does a good centaur. I quite like that one. And then somewhere else I read the Minotaur. Now, we all know the Minotaur as the bipedal bull, but there is references to it being a large bull, so a four-legged bull. Was it Prometheus? Or there was a fairly poor Greek mythology movie done, and when you meet the Minotaur in that, it's a massive bloke wearing a bull's head helmet, which is where I got the idea for the Orcus from, which yet again didn't make the actual Bible, because when I started writing that is after the map, and to find the map, it will be in the video. It may be here by now. I don't know. We'll see how my timing's going. But a lot of these add-ons are in one of my other blogs, and I may have deleted them now, but they were originally written on the fly. Because back in the day, I would randomly write pieces that I thought, I'll use that later in blogs, so that if I ever lost the laptop, which happened, I didn't lose the story I had because it was somewhere online. So there you go. Right, I don't know how long this is. I'm going to have a look in a second. But that's some of the background for Herenkoa. If you want to know more, as I say, the Bible bit will be uploaded to the website. I will also upload... No, I have already uploaded one of the background stories because I just copy and pasted it, but I'll stick the PDF up. There are no rules. I haven't done rules yet. But if you want to know more, you know what to do. Just email me or send me a message on Twitter or in one of the social things that you find me on. Anyway, hope this has been interesting. And I will see thee in next week's video. Bye-bye.